everyone, my name is Ryan Cassata. I'm a singer-songwriter and transgender activist living in San Francisco, originally from New York. And today I wanted to talk about the It Gets Better project, created by Dan Savage 5 years ago now, which is totally crazy. I remember watching the videos when I was in high school and also after high school and thinking, wow, like there's actually hope for me out there and I could be successful being queer, and I didn't know that until this campaign. So where was I 5 years ago? Man, a lot of stuff has changed in 5 years. 5 years ago, I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school, getting ready to graduate. My dad was not supporting my transition at all. He wasn't calling me Ryan. He wasn't using the right pronouns. He was still calling me his daughter. It was this really big struggle, and I wanted my top surgery so badly. I thought that I would never be able to get it and that no one was going to help me pay for it and that it was just impossible, totally impossible to get it. Because I didn't have my top surgery, I was dysphoric all of the time and I was really uncomfortable with myself. I was uncomfortable being trans. I was uncomfortable expressing my gender in any way that was not masculine. I was severely depressed. Often I was suicidal. Today, 5 years later, I live in San Francisco with my dog Jeffrey, and we have an amazing life. My dad supports me, and not only does he support me, he supports my transition and he accepts transgender people and is a great ally to the transgender community, as well as my mom. And I'm really lucky to have two supportive parents. I never thought that was going to be my story, but that's how it ended up. Also, I got my top surgery, and I never thought in a million years that I would, that it was possible, that my dad, who didn't support me, would pay for my top surgery. I never thought that that would happen, and it did, because my dad came around with time, and for me it did get better. Today I'm happy, I smile all the time, I laugh all the time, I walk around being able to express my gender in any way that's comfortable to me. And I don't care what other people think about my gender anymore. I just don't. And I think a lot of that comes with growing up, and a lot of the reason that it does get better is because you grow up and you learn how to deal with situations, and you get more comfortable with yourself as time goes by, and that's why it does get better. Today, I tour the country playing music and speaking to youth and young adults and parents and teachers and whoever else wants to listen to me about being transgender, and I share my story that it does get better and that there is hope. And today I receive letters from all across the world, from people that have heard my story and realize that there is hope. And these letters, they make me cry, because at one point I was that kid in the letter that was suicidal. I was that kid in the letter that was getting bullied in school. I was that kid in the letter that wasn't comfortable with themselves. I was the kid in the letter that their parents didn't accept them and their grandparents didn't accept them. And I was that kid with no friends. And now I'm not. All of that changed for me, and it's an incredible change. It does get better because it gets easier with time. And maybe your parents won't come around, or maybe you won't ever be totally 100% completely comfortable with yourself, which I don't think anyone really is. But things get easier to deal with time, and just by learning yourself and growing up, things get a lot easier to deal with. And that's why I think that it gets better, because life gets easier to deal with. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and please know that there is hope and that you can be successful as a queer person in this world. Because when I watched those videos, that's what I learned. I realized whoa, I could actually be someone, and today I am someone because I held on and I realized, okay? It's going to change. Things are going to change, and my life is going to get better. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Peace.